Now at 5, Richmond leaders take aim at the Chevron refinery, the crucial vote that could make the city's largest employer subject to a major tax.
Maybe that's the best way to get at the pollution problem, but it does really carry the risk that the refinery will scale back operations.
A yes vote tonight would put the tax on the November ballot. Good evening. I'm Julie Hayner.
And I'm Mike Meback. The Richmond City Council expected to vote in just a matter of hours here. But the concern tonight is whether this so-called buck-a-barrel tax could actually lead to job cuts and higher gas prices. KTVU's Tom Vakar live tonight in Richmond with the very latest. Tom?
Well, no matter what actually happens tonight with the vote, you can bet that Chevron's going to oppose this ballot measure, and they're going to oppose it tooth and nail. Now, it's going to be actually a little bit hard to figure out who ultimately is going to pay the bill, though. Every dollar increase in crude oil prices adds 2.5 cents per gallon at the pump. Now, should Chevron choose to take this buck-a-barrel tax that the city of Richmond is considering imposing on it, that would permanently add 35 cents to the final price of the average size 14-gallon tank of gas. So in the Bay Area, the current average cost to fill up a car, $69.86, would climb to $70.81.
That, of course, would be paid not just by Richmond drivers, but by drivers everywhere.
Energy economist Professor Chevron Bornstein of the UC Berkeley Haas Energy Institute says it could backfire on the city.
If you tax the oil going in instead of the pollution, you actually don't give the refinery an incentive to produce in a cleaner way. You just give them an incentive to run less oil through it.
The Chevron Richmond refinery produces 1 in 5 gallons of California gas and 3 in 5 gallons of jet fuel, a critical asset to California's energy profile. Even though Chevron Corporation made $21.3 billion in profits last year, lower production could lower refinery employment. Richmond collects about $46 million a year in taxes from Chevron. The company says that's 25% of the city's budget. The buck-a-barrel tax could raise that to as much as $90 million more a year.
The City Council should reject the ballot initiative this evening.
Chevron executive Brian Hubbinger blames activists, including Communities for a Better Environment and Asian Pacific Environmental Network Action, that they are the ones that want the city to put this buck-a-barrel proposal on the November ballot.
This comes on the heels of a tax increase 2 years ago by the city that worked to reduce the competitiveness of all the city businesses.
The worst case scenario probably is if the refinery is able to raise its price by cutting back its production enough to cover this tax.
Interestingly, Chevron would not answer whether it would cut employees or raise prices. One other note, we were unable to get a response from the proponents, especially Communities for a Better Environment, so we'll get that once we find out more about what's going to actually happen on the ballot. Tom Vakar, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Hey, Tom, real quick here. I mean, if we're talking about $1 on every barrel of oil, how many barrels are they actually processing at the plant there behind you in Richmond?
On average, each and every day, 250,000 barrels, $250,000 a day, and that could get up into the $90 million range. Whether or not that happens, whether or not this even gets to the ballot is one matter, but the other matter is how much will Chevron fight it? You can bet they're going to fight it heavy.
All right, Tom Vakar live in Richmond tonight. Tom, thank you.